The war in Syria is far from over. The army and air force of President Bashar al-Assad and his allies continue to attack opposition positions in the southern countryside of Aleppo province. Regime forces are advancing to secure an important supply route, Khanasir Highway, that connects Damascus to Aleppo city. Opposition fighters as well as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is allied to Al-Qaeda, are fighting to retain control of small towns and villages. Days of fighting has displaced thousands.
We don't have any shelter, no tents, no cover. When we left, we didn't take anything. The Syrian army went after us with airstrikes. And now the children sleep in the wild.
There's no water, no power, no roads, just dirt. We move a lot. For God's sake, have some mercy. We run with just the clothes that we wear. Now we're here in a tent in this foreign land.
The reused tents are not just for people from southern Aleppo, but also from Hama province in the north, around 3,000 people in all. Many here haven't seen any help from international aid organizations because the front line is close by. Local aid workers say they are doing what they can, but don't have enough provisions.
The villages and towns in the southern countryside of Aleppo faced a wave of civilians fleeing towards the east. There are 1,734 families from the south and 1,300 families from the northern countryside of Hama. After visiting the random camps in the area, we evaluated the humanitarian situation as a disaster. The people need tents to protect themselves from the freezing winter.
The United Nations says at least 1.1 million Syrians have been displaced in the last year. The UN is concerned by the escalation of airstrikes in Aleppo and Idlib provinces and is calling for the protection of civilians. The fighting is continuing on the edges of the de-escalation zones agreed by the United States and Russia. The opposition says that the government is taking advantage of these zones to target them, while the government says that it is going to go after what it calls terrorist groups. And as this goes on, millions of Syrians continue to suffer. Osama bin Javaid, Al Jazeera, Gaziantep, on the Turkish-Syrian border.